Welcome to the Mediabox. I'm joined by Zacchaeus Hayward and Stepanka Slamova, who are both youth delegates here at the Council of Europe. I'll start with you, Zach. Why do you think initiatives like rejuvenating politics is so important?
Well, I've been really lucky to be involved with initiatives a lot like rejuvenating politics for the last 8 years. And I think the first thing that comes to mind is the platform it gives us as young people. So often in arenas like this, in places like the Congress, it is very seldom the case that you hear a youth perspective, but there's 40 of us. That is a huge group of young people putting across the perspective of the next generation from all across Europe. And it's a privilege too, quite frankly. On a more personal note, I think it's given me a lot of confidence, and it really helps us develop as people and as public speakers and as activists to some extent. I remember when I first got involved in, it was the Conway Youth Council, which is a little youth council in North Wales. I was a shy, nerdy, gawky 13-year-old. I barely knew which way was up. I was scared to walk into the room, and a few minutes ago we were sat in the hemicycle of the European Parliament talking about some of the most vital issues affecting Europe today, which is a progression. It's certainly more than I was doing a few years ago. I think there's also something about sharing good practice there as well. You know, we've got this youth delegate community. We're able to talk to each other, share certain values, certain understandings, activist practice, come together and understand what the situation is like in other countries, what the situation is like in ours, use others as a reflection on our own practice, and then as youth delegates, we have projects, so we take it home and hopefully put it into practice through those projects. I know I've certainly taken an enormous amount from the people I've worked with in developing the toolkit which I've been implementing in Wales. Further to that, there's the networking element, so we get to continue speaking and reflecting, hopefully for years to come, if of course you can all put up with me, because we have fun too. It's been great making friends and travelling about, and I won't detail what the youth delegates get up to outside of the sessions, but we enjoy it, and we get to do work that is meaningful and hopefully input on the future of institutions like this one and contribute in some small way to the policies which might come to affect us in the years to come. So rejuvenating politics, I think, is fundamental to making sure that we are heard, that we can be heard going forward, that the voices in our communities are heard, because we are not just here for ourselves, and that someday things are marginally better than they are today.
It's great. And Stepanka, what sort of support do young people need to be able to participate in the community?
Yeah, I believe that the first thing that young people need are different opportunities. So if we provide them with different opportunities, then we can already continue on. But as long as there are no opportunities, there can be no youth involvement. And ideally, these opportunities should be youth inclusive or even youth specific, such as in my town, we have this participatory budget, which is a way for the citizens to provide their ideas to the town hall and have a project that could enhance their municipality. And in the case of youth inclusive participatory budget, this would be a budget that's inclusive to people maybe above 15. In my town, from this year on, we actually have a specific budget for youth between 12 and 25 years. So that's a great opportunity, I think, for us to practice developing a certain type of project at such a young age. Besides that, we definitely need some kind of technical support, whether this is a budget, but even more importantly, this should be some kind of support from the town hall, maybe from school, from teachers, or from some kind of social workers. That's maybe even more important than the budget, because from what I've observed, we actually really need trust and respect to even start planning something. We as youth often don't feel really valued. We don't feel like our inputs are being valued, and therefore we really need to be shown trust and respect from the decision makers or from the people who are organizing these. Beside that, it's great if youth can organize in certain youth organizations or initiatives, which should ideally be youth-led, because if they are youth-led, everything actually goes much more smoothly and democratically, and the youth does not only learn how to how to be a part of the project, but also learns how to facilitate it and how to initiate it. But it's also great if the town hall or the organizers are there to facilitate what is going on. Especially because with youth, with young people who are interested in politics, in decision making and so on, and are open with their ideas, oftentimes they are on move, they go to study in a different country and so on, so their mandates are not really that long, and therefore I think it's great if there is some kind of background, which is from the town, from the municipality, or from the local level initiative. And lastly, I think that a great way to ensure continuity as well as some kind of professional practice is to have a framework for any kind of youth initiative. And there is one amazing framework that was developed by the Congress itself. It's called the RMSOS framework, which stands for Right, Means, Space, Opportunity, and Support, which is included in the Have Your Say manual. So for anyone who's interested in enhancing, maintaining, or funding a new initiative, this is a great framework to start with.
Great, thank you so much to the both of you for joining me here at the Mediabox.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.